Shavua Tov, everyone. Welcome to Tillis Tell Stories for Saturday night. The title of this week's video is The CEO Who Cared. I compiled it 14 years ago from various sources in honor of the first yortzeit of my friend Yosef ben Shlomo HaKohen, Allah Shalom, who was the first to send me an article about this phenomenon. Mr. Aaron Feuerstein was born in 1925. A son of a successful businessman. His father and grandfather had owned and operated a textile company named Malden Mills since 1906, one of the largest employers in the town of Lawrence, Massachusetts. In the 1960s, Aaron Feuerstein took control of the company. Then in 1995, disaster struck. A large fire destroyed the entire factory. The owner, Mr. Feuerstein's response was unique. The 70-year-old Torah-observant Jewish businessman received international acclaim for preserving the jobs of his employees. In an age of corporate downsizing, he spent 25 million of his own money to keep his 1,400 employees on the payroll for several months until the factory reopened. He continued their health benefits even. A number of years later, CBS News, on July 6, 2003, had a special report which reviewed his altruistic decision. And it stated, he kept his promises. Workers picked up their checks for months. He soon became known as the Mensch of Maiden Mills, a businessman who seemed to care more about his workers than about his net worth. The press loved him, as did politicians. President Clinton invited him to the State of the Union address as an honored guest. He also received 12 honorary degrees, including one from Boston University, where he lives. He became one of that rare species, an ethical businessman as national hero. He himself says, I got a lot of publicity, and I do not think that speaks well for our times. At the time in America of its greatest prosperity, the god of money has taken over to an extreme. For guidance, he turns to the Torah, the book of Jewish law. On camera, he explained, you are not permitted to oppress the working man because he is poor and he's needy amongst your brethren and among the non-Jew in your community. Says Feuerstein, who spent 300 million of his insurance money and then borrowed 100 million more to build a new plant that is both environmentally friendly and worker-friendly. Also, it is a union stop that has never had a strike, thanks to the Feuerstein's family's stance toward their workers. A Torah-observant Jew, Feuerstein went on to explain that the ideals of his religious heritage had played a major role in his decision. He quoted the famous first-century scholar Rabbi Hillel, twice. First, where there is no righteous person, try to be a righteous person. And second, not all who increase their wealth are wise. Both from Pirkei Avot, Chapters of Our Fathers, Chapter 2. In September 96, Columbia University honored Aaron Feuerstein with its 1996 Butwinick Prize in Business Ethics. An attending Jewish dignitary gave the following report. Aaron Feuerstein is a graduate of Yeshiva University. About business, as he has said, he merely carries out the dictates of his daily prayers. Each morning as he recites the opening line of the Shema Yisrael prayer, which he did on the spot, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Listen, Israel, God is our God, God is one. He affirms the singular unity of God. The God he worships in the synagogue is the same God who inhabits his home and who presides over his business. One God alone informs all that he does. Aaron Feuerstein demonstrated that he did not live a schizophrenic existence, where one part of his life is guided by the principles of capitalism and another part of his life is guided by the principles of Torah. He developed a unified self through allowing the principles of the Torah to guide all of his life. Wow, 25 million of his own money. I doubt if any of us are in a position to duplicate this already legendary deed. But we can certainly be inspired by this outstanding individual of blessed memory to improve our morality, our ethics, and even our unification of God's name. Something to think about before reciting daily the Shema Yisrael prayer. Shavua Tov, Chodesh Tov, have an outstanding week and an inspiring month of Elul.